7 o'clock. So, it's Robin Zander Band Day. And I'm wearing my hat. Because that's what you do on Robin Zander Band Day. You wear your hat. Why? Different reasons. Well, why is it Robin Zander Band Day? Well, because it kind of stays with the theme of where my career has been and gone and going, sort of continuing in the theme of this week, right? We opened with Rat Race, we went to Entwistle, we had Forklift Day yesterday, now we've got Robin Zander Band Day. Logical progression. Why? Well, after the forklift thing, in whenever that was, '08, that's when I decided, you know what? I need some time to figure out what I'm going to do. Now, let me straighten out something else. I may have inadvertently mentioned the word retired yesterday. I am not retired. I will not retire ever. That's just, you don't do that. I don't do that. I'm not saying that I won't change my job description from time to time, but no retiring. When I made the reference to Florida, I thought when we moved down here 16 years ago, when it was a metaphor. You cross the border, they give you a Cadillac and a cigar, and you're retired. I'm not retired. I have been probably as busy or busier since I've been down here in retirement. And think about it. I did the Cliff and Brian thing. I've been pretty busy, and happily. So, why the Robin Zander Band? Why 2012? I'm about to turn 60. So let's start a new band. Well, it wasn't my idea. But it doesn't take much to convince me if the situation is right. So, I got a call from Henry Smith, my tour manager, I'm happy to say, for the last 15 years, 16 years, since I've been down here. One of the best in the business. He's gone down the road with Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin. I think it was Steven Tyler that got him the gig as Bonham's roadie. So, I got good people around me. So, anyway, where was I going with this? Robin? Oh, right. Okay, must be all this dust floating around me here. That's what it is, dust. Right, I get a call from Henry, and he says to me, hey, how you doing? And I said, I'm doing good. And I said, what's up? He said, I was talking to Zander today. And I said, yeah, what's going on there? And he said, well, that's what he asked me. He said, hey, how's Longo doing? And he said, well, you want to know? Call him up and ask him. So he did. Now, remember, I have played in a number of situations prior to 2012 with Robin. Both he and Rick came and played at the Hurricane Relief concert that I put on at Germain Arena. Thank you guys. Played with us. Played with me, Mark, and my guys. And we had a good time. And so Robin, whenever there was going to be a charity thing, we did another thing down here, and I invited him down, and he came, and we had a good time. Eddie Money was there, Mark Farner was there. And so he, in this business, especially in a rock band, especially if you're somebody like Zander or even Cliff and Brian or myself, who's been in a band for decades, you're used to a certain thing. Now, I've only been married once, thankfully, but I have to imagine that it's kind of like going through a divorce and then remarrying and having to reconstitute all that part of your head. Well, I mean, I've said it. It's very much like a marriage, being in a band. So when you decide to put one together, when Robin called me up about doing this thing, it's a very intimate thing. I mean, unless you want to be rock star guy who doesn't even know the band's name, which is not Robin at all. Robin's a real band guy. Rockford guy. With a capital Rock. And so, you know, he called me up, and you don't ever want to go out and do these things for the wrong reason. You want to do them all for the right reason. And so he said, you know, what do you think about putting something together and maybe doing this, maybe doing that? And I said, well, yeah, you know, we could do that. You know, my guys, you know my guys. And I thought we were going to use a keyboard player initially for every show. And so I hired a guy that I didn't really know. Larry knew him. So it's me, Mark, and Larry as the core band. And we hired a keyboard player. And we played the Johnny Damon golf tournament, you know, and it was when he was with the Yankees, and everybody got a bat, and we played golf, and blah, blah, blah. And after that, Robin was pretty sure that my trio was what he wanted to do, and eventually he came up with the idea of putting a band together. I was the one who said you have to call it Robin Zander Band, because what else can you call it? You know, it was the same thing when we named the Entwistle Band. You can't really name it, you know, the Screwdrivers, because they're going to ask for a tagline featuring John Entwistle, so let's get it over, you know, in the headline. Let's get right to it. It's not about ego, it's about marquee value. If your name doesn't mean shit, don't put it on the marquee. If it does, there you go. So, we decided we were going to play a couple of gigs, and he said, I know a little place up in St. Petersburg that we could play. A friend of Johnny Green, a friend of ours that passed away. Johnny Green is actually a real person. It's not code for pot. And so a little place called the Hideaway in St. Petersburg. And maybe, you know, if you're a Floridian, if you're on the Floridian feed, you saw a show there. Maybe our show. And the cool thing about the Hideaway is it's 100 seats, 100 people. I mean, if you want to break the fire code, you could probably get 110 in there. But boom, that's what it is. And it's a great place to play. Sounds great. Tiny little stage. And don't bring all your gear. Entwistle couldn't play there because his gear wouldn't even fit on the whole stage. But the cool thing is, like, it's like a living room kind of with a bar in the back. It's an awesome place. And then you walk into the dressing room, and it's a very nice couple of, you know, sectioned off rooms, dressing rooms. But behind that, there's a 24-track recording studio. Well, we like the Hideaway. So once I find this out, very simple. I get a drive. It's Pro Tools, which is what I run in my studio. Bop, 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 bop. And we're recording live gigs. And in fact, I'm going to play you some tracks from those recordings that actually wound up on a Black Flower. I'm going to take us to the Hideaway. And this is, I think, the first time, I don't think the first time we played there that we recorded, but the first time that we played there and we recorded, this is that show. And Robin, I got to tell you, he was really cool, because why did we do the Zander Band? Well, we did it not for any of the reasons that I did any of the other stuff that I got involved in, purely for the music. I'll explain as we go. So here's a Robin Zander Band, me, Mark, Larry, being joined by George Harris, who's a guitar player from that area, great guitar player. Any of the pedal steel sounding stuff on this track is George. He and Mark had a good time going at it. This is the Robin Zander Band, You're My Girl. RZB Hack Day. What's up with the background, Steve? I had a creative day. I liked the first one with the things floating around. Lori said it was making her nauseous, so I thought I'd try this. This is probably going to make her nauseous too. I'll go back to the old one. We'll be fine, or I don't know. So, Sully, I think you were at this next gig. And, like I said, we started out in this little club, and we played a couple of little places down here in Fort Myers, up in St. Pete, Tampa area, and I think we opened a couple of shows at Ruth Eckerd Hall. We did a bunch of cool stuff, but unlike the other bands that we have discussed this week, this one was really kind of a rainy day band. And when I say that, Robin certainly in a pretty stable band. Those guys have been working non-stop since they started. I mean, that's amazing. And like all bands, no matter who you are, if you play that much, things start to slow down a little bit. And Robin, he's approaching 60. This was back in 2012. So he rang me up, let's do this thing. And I said, well, what do you want to do? And of course, here I am about my original material thing. I just don't want to go out and play Cheap Trick songs, but he doesn't want to go out and play Cheap Trick songs either. And let me give you guys a clue, just a hint about something. If you're Pete Townsend, you probably don't want to pick Won't Get Fooled Again as the song to jam on with different people. I think I brought this up yesterday about Ringo really being a fusion player. The whole reason for this type of band especially is to get outside of the thing that is your comfort zone, the thing that's, the thing that brought you all the hits and so on and so forth. It's a departure from that without actually leaving or doing anything, harmful. And trust me, the John Entwistle Band never did anything to the Who except probably keep John playing more so he, maintained his whatever. But John was never going to stop playing no matter what. That was just John. Played at the opening of an envelope, if anybody was there. So the Xander Band, we start to expand. And we start to do what are called fly dates. Now, when we play in Florida, I have a crew down here. We've got a truck. Come to my studio, load up the gear. Mark's gear was here for a while. Larry's gear is still here. Larry. And then they, Fuzz and the boys take it up north or wherever we were playing, and that would be that. But a fly date is different. A fly date is I'll meet you in California. And we did a lot of shows on the West Coast. I mean, Robin's popular wherever, but there were a lot of venues that lined up with what we were doing because we weren't doing Cheap Trick songs. I mean, we did them. You can't be Robin Zander and not do The Flame or not do whatever. But we did other stuff that we. Oh my! Who's calling at this inopportune moment? Everybody leave the building. Please leave the building. No, it wasn't that. Anyway. That's going to cost me Miami.
No complaining on the
I'm not complaining. I'm not. Okay, so we've got tour dates, we have fly dates, and like I said, the thing about fly dates is you fly out, and you really don't know what gear you're going to get, because you can't bring your stuff with you, and I'm really a creature of habit when it comes to my drums, and plus if you have an endorsement, which I have several, that's what you have to play. The good news about that is the company is responsible for having a kit wherever you go. However, organizing that is not always the easiest thing in the world. So you really never know what you're going to get. I mean, I know it's going to be from my company, and I know it's going to be the pieces that I asked for, but are they going to be the right size? I'm not even concerned about the color. They've sent kits that didn't even match. Well, kids, it's not the wand, it's the magician. But it helps if you have a decent wand. So, So the end whistle band, the Xander band was really let's go out and rock. It wasn't let's not go out and make any money. We certainly wanted to make some money, but it was let's go out and rock. And for the first time, I wasn't really concerned about writing for a record or doing any of that kind of stuff. And it's always in the back of my mind. But anyway, so we're out on the road and we're playing the Canyon Club. We have a date set up to play there, right? Sully, you were there, and Robin decides to throw Larry under the bus, right? What do I mean by that? He calls out, I told you we play whatever comes to our head, you know what I mean? We'll play this, we'll play that, whatever it is. If somebody yells something out, Robin will say, do you know this? Sometimes we got to work things out in practice, rehearsal and sound check at our sound check meet and greet parties. And but in this case, it was, hey, you guys know My Generation? Well, I know it. Mark knows it. Well, it's the Who. Larry, you know My Generation? What's he going to say? No. Can't say no. Larry's a pro. You surround yourself with pros. And of course, he knows what the changes are. But is he going to play the Thunder solo? I don't think so. He's not going to drop out, but very brave. It takes a real pro to stand up there and look confident playing one of the iconic parts of all time. It would be like Mark singing The Flame. Well, not exactly.
Get around. Things they do seem awful cold. Oh, but die before we get old. Don't try to dig what we all say. I'm not trying to cause a big sensation. Just talking about my generation. My generation,
Okay, I don't know if you noticed the single bass drum, not for Who songs, but we do what we must do. Well, that's a fly day. And really, the truth is, at the end of the day, if you don't have your gear, it's not as good, like skiing with somebody else's skis or a lot of other examples. It's awkward, but you still remember how to do it, so you do it. So let's see. I mentioned that we gave away a CD. Now, I should point out that the Robin Zander Band started out in a small club up in St. Petersburg. And I love St. Petersburg. If you're ever in that area and you have a chance to see a show there at the Hideaway or anywhere in that part of the world, the Vinoy, amazing hotel, great restaurants right on the water. Really, I should have travelogue music going. But it's a great place. So you go there in the afternoon, you do the meet and greet, you do the sound check, and then you get to go and have dinner, in like the best, by Tampa Bay. So, anyway, nothing wrong with that. So, after we played around, Robin and I decided let's start a new band, 60 years old, why not? And we did it. It worked. It worked good. I think some of you out there, I know some of you out there saw it. And it was a real rock band with real energy. And we wound up doing one of our last shows at the Arcada Theater. And we filmed it and recorded the whole thing. And anyway, it was, like I said, it was all about the energy. So when we did that show, it was right before the holiday, and we decided that we should give away a CD. So we went back to some of the recordings that we had made earlier that year up at Hideaway. I brought the masters to my studio, mixed them, and we got things like this. Like this. Like this. Well, bad little girl. And I saw Cindy out there. Hey, all right, everybody's here. The Xandroids are in the house. See, when there were Swifties, right? And there were, what else were there? Swifties and who knows what else. I came up with Xandroids. I thought, who, what were there?
Believers.
Oh, Believers. Right, Believers, right? Xandroids, much cooler than that. Very space. You know, Robin's all likes the space thing. Lives in space. Oh, we did have some good times out there. You see from these slideshows that I put up, we had a way good time. And I'll tell you what, Robin brought some very interesting energy and material to the table. I had never heard Bad Little Girl, and I think there's some kind of a controversy about where that comes from. I just know it rocks, and we had a good time playing it. And this next one, I'm just going to try something here for a second. Oh, it worked. This next one, he wrote with Mike Campbell, who you may know from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And we let no connection go to waste here. So this is Robin Zander's song written with Mike Campbell, performed with the Robin Zander Band. Now, this is again in those hideaway recordings. Yeah. I'll just jump right into this.
I can tell what you're ready to do. You've got your bags all packed and your face painted blue. Your lifeline is a pendulum, swinging high and low. Oh, now you're 3,000 miles from the softest road. There's nothing that you can stop her swinging as far as she can. But it is still ringing before it's all done. You'll be through with the world. I didn't know you were such a reactionary girl. Her eyes became restless and her mouth got tense. She must have been ready to begin a new experience. And I was waiting for the rain to fall, but the clouds all passed on by. Oh, now I know I had only been a fool to try, 'cause nothing that I do can stop her swinging as far as she can. But it is still ringing before it's all done. You'll be through with the world. I didn't know you were such a reactionary girl. Tell her she's lucky. Tell her she's right. It's only salt water keeps her up at night. When a man loves a woman, that's what we do. We make false starts and broken hearts and try to see it through. But now they're riding like a pendulum, immune to us all. Well, baby, have a bitch in summer, see you next fall. 'Cause nothing that I do can stop her swinging as far as she can. But it is still ringing before it's all done. You'll be through with the world. I didn't know you were such a reactionary girl. A reactionary girl. A reactionary girl.
Let's see if this makes her nauseous. Well, oh, you didn't get it there yet? She's on she's on the delay. This is like, oh, you know what this is like. This is all, man, I just have too much fun during the day. Anyway, where was I going to take you? Where was I going to take you next? So this Robin Zander thing went on for 3 years, wasn't it? Almost 3 years. And we wound up having a pretty regular schedule. And it was like really turning into something. And it was, not that, I mean, so we started playing bigger shows. We opened for Electric Light Orchestra at Ruth Eckerd Hall. And then we wound up going back there and opening for REO Speedwagon. And then we played with them again at the King Center. Ribfest?
And the King Center.
Ribfest and the King Center. Sorry, not Ruth Eckerd Hall. That was ELO. The point is, we were getting in the swing pretty good. And it was really nice to have all this stuff recorded in the bag. But, unlike Forklift or Entwistle, there was really, he's in Cheap Trick. Those guys tour, they will play. If you're there, they will play and play their asses off. And their catalog is so huge, which is an interesting point. Catalog is so huge that they never get bored with their set list. Unlike the bands that have to play the hits, Trix fans are knowledgeable about their music, and they love hearing any of the stuff that those guys play. I mean, there's always the favorites, and they have the hits, but, So, nobody has any expectations about this thing, but we do find out that we're going to do this thing in Chicago. And we're going to record it, and we're going to do this and that, and I should have actually put up a piece of that. Maybe I'll, let me put up my preview screen. Oh, there we go. Wow, everything's working today. It's my crack crew and my top-notch producer. Yeah. What? No, that wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. I better play something. This is another one from the CD. I'm going to leave the camera on, okay? I don't want to get in trouble.
Riding on the highway, going
Well, there you go. And I'll tell you what, we rocked. I mean, that band rocked. That was live. All those tracks were live. We did one weird thing in the studio once. We did a radio broadcast where we all played in different booths, and Robin was in the center of the studio, and we broadcast the performance, which was weird because you can't really hear anybody, so you're kind of playing by memory. Did a bunch of strange stuff with that band. Robin and I were auctioned off. We were prize at an auction or something, lunch with us in Miami. Palm Beach, thank you. Palm Beach before the Sunfest, which Cheap Trick was playing. And so I had to be over there for something, and Robin and I were doing this thing for charity, and we were balancing the two schedules really well, bouncing between Trick gigs and just like John. I mean, Robin in those years and still at the top of his game, but when you start to stare down that 60 thing, it's like, and that's why you got to keep playing. Everybody doesn't have a studio in their house or doesn't have this or that. You got to go out and play, and especially singers, man. If you don't use that, that's like not working out. Guitar players, I guess they can, not that anybody can not practice, but it's not like your skill is going to disintegrate, excuse me, like it would if you were a vocalist and tried to go out after 5 years and start singing again. You wouldn't have your calluses as a guitar player or bass player, but it wouldn't be quite the same. That's an organic instrument, and the first instrument, and a very delicate instrument. And how Xander pounded it out like that night after night, I have no clue. I mean, I have a strong voice for screaming. I don't have anything near his tone, but I mean, I can holler out the Led Zeppelin stuff way, that stuff. But how he throws himself full chest voice into that, any performance, it's unbelievable. It's like driving a dragster on the street. It's amazing. So,
Sunfest.
it did, huh?
Sunfest.
What, Sunfest? I said Sunfest.
Oh.
Oh. Well, actually, I was going to go to the prank, but, Sunfest, I don't know, kind of lost Sunfest, didn't I? What can I do? All of a sudden, you're Jen Stacy. To my, who is he?
Greg Parker.
Greg Parker. Greg, you got to get a hat, man. And some, you got to let your hair grow, too. Like, this is a few months of, Is that happening to anybody else? Oh, so anyway, we were auctioned off. We played wineries. We did all kinds of stuff. I remember when we went to do the dinner, it was like with one of the Shark Tank guys that won us. Robin brought his dogs, Daisy and Buddha, and I brought Beanie. We're eating pizza at an outdoor restaurant in Palm Beach, and the dogs are like, just messing around under the table, and it was just pretty weird. And I went back to the hotel as we stayed over. Obviously, not going to drive back after all that. And Robin wanted us to come and see the show. And, so we drive back, and we park in like this place where we're not really supposed to park. But we see the guy with the golf cart. And we know that the guy is the guy who's going to help us out. Otherwise, we have a dog. We're walking through Sunfest crowds, which is like, what? I mean, I don't like crowds. I like when they're out and I can see them from behind my drums, but I don't like being in them. Don't ask me why. Maybe it's fear of being stabbed or poisoned. I'm not sure. So this was an awkward situation, and I drive down the dead end of whatever street it was, and we see the guy, and said, I got to get to the stage like, you're supposed to do. You're supposed to talk like you own the place. Got to get to the stage. What do you got for me, Captain? He says, I'll tell you what I got for you there. Come on, pull up, put it right here. Moves a barricade. I mean, I've got like better parking than Robin does now. Everything's all filled up, and the guy, all he has to do is move this barrier, and I'm like right there. And I'm thinking, man, this guy just saved me a lot of hassle, because Beanie's pretty big and kind of has a mind of his own sometimes in crowds. And so I said, man, thank you. You saved me a very, very long walk. He said, we're not done yet, man. I said, we're not done yet? He said, no, you got to get to the stage, right? I said, yes, sir, I got to get to the stage. He said, well, hop on in. I said, dog too? Yeah, of course the dog too. So Laurie and Beanie get in the seat that faces backwards. I'm in the front seat with my hero. Drives us right to the stage. Robin's looking out like waiting for us to be there. I guess we were communicating back and forth. He sees this guy driving us up in a golf cart, limousine style, with the dog, and he's like shaking his head. And we went backstage, and he said, let's go say hello to the guys before we go on stage. And he asked me to give Beanie to Sailor, and Sailor would take care of him. She had the other ones in there in their crates, and it was a lovely Sunfest, and saw Rick. And it reminded me when I was getting ready to do this show that I met Rick a long time before I ever met Robin. Out at NAMM, I had lunch. John Entwistle and I were, so it had to be 90s. We were out there, and somehow, I don't remember where we were, but we had lunch with Rick and Tom. And, lunch, please. So, as I'm preparing the tracks for you today, I picked this one. I saved it for last, because this was an amazing show to play an arena like King Center. Great place to play, great acoustics, and sometimes you have to pull out the hits, and certainly this was time for that. And I'm noticing that everything's running a little slow today. Normally things run really well for me. So if you're breaking up, it might not be your fault. But anyway, like I said, let's let the kid do his thing.
Skin standing up, but falling apart. Can't see through this veil across my heart. How will you? You'll always be the one. You were the first to be the last. Wherever you go, I'll be with you. Whatever you want, I'll give it to you. Whenever you need someone to lay your heart in, remember I took the fire, after all the rain, I will be the
So there's that. So where'd that wind up? Well, I'll tell you. I mean, come on, first of all, that sounded pretty good. For guys in the side, let's just go play. And in 3 years, or less than 3 years really, we went from a small club in St. Petersburg to one of the premier venues in our state, in Florida. And that's a nice place to play, man. And everything about that band was fun and good. So what happened? Well, good news is, nothing happened that anybody didn't expect to happen. Trick was nominated for the Hall of Fame, and out of respect to the run up to that, I'm sorry, they were inducted or about to be inducted. They had been nominated, and out of respect to that, and management being what it is, we had to put it aside. I mean, at our age, if you're a lifer like me, or like you, or like Robin, or like anybody, if what you do is make music